I have to tell you, I watched the entire series in 3 days, and there's literally not room in my head for anything else right now. Like, it's just taking up all the rent. So thank you. Congratulations.
You're
I feel
welcome.
like that's a good thing.
We apologize to the rest of the things that you should be thinking about.
You know what? They need to be put on the back burner for my own sanity anyway. So this is great to have a distraction. Neil, there are certainly so many fans who are going to scrutinize this because they love the book so much. So was there one element that in particular that you felt like we have to get this thing right?
Tom Sturridge. We had to cast Morpheus right. Our Morpheus had to be Morpheus. If we got that right, everything else would follow. If we couldn't get that right, you might as well give up now. And Tom was there in the first, our first email, because I went back and looked. First email from Lucinda Syson, our casting director, had 4 people in it. One of them was Tom. We loved Tom. We then saw many hundreds of other people expecting there to be lots of people as good as Tom, and there weren't. And then the pandemic happened, and Netflix came to us and said, you know, now we have additional time. Why don't you look at more people? So we looked at another 1,000 auditions. And poor Lucinda Syson probably did another 6,000 auditions because she was only sending us the best. And at the end of that, it was still Tom. And it wasn't, and people say, well, was that the looks? And I'm like, no. We saw every actor with great cheekbones on the planet. I mean, everyone who could have looked like that. But Tom said the lines in a way that made us believe them. And he seemed to find something in Morpheus that nobody else did.
I hope Lucinda said, I told you so. At the very end of it, to come back around to what she knew in the beginning. Alan, I know that you have mentioned that Neil is a hero of yours. I'm curious, what was the most challenging thing to translate from the page to the screen?
Well, the Joanna Constantine episode was a challenge because we were trying to figure out what we were going to be as a TV show. And we thought maybe we had to add more to the story than we did. And so we chased ourselves for quite a number of months before we realized, you know what, it's probably enough for us to just do the comic and let that be that. And then convince the network and the studio that that was enough as well. And I think we built out the Ethel story in that episode to sort of take some of the pressure off. So once that episode sort of gelled, I felt like, okay, on to the next challenge. But it just taught us a lesson that when in doubt, you know, let's just go back to the source and deliver what the source material did. So.
And Neil, obviously any great work is timeless to a degree, right? It resonates regardless of how many years go by. But what do you think about the Sandman really is for us right now? Why is it relevant for us right now?
I think one reason it seems incredibly relevant and feels very relevant is that the Sandman of 30-something years ago was a bit ahead of its time. Things that were unimportant back then, but that I was doing because it just felt like the right thing to do. Putting gay characters in, putting trans characters in, putting black characters in, establishing early on that, yes, our hero is of all races. He is not human. He is all of these things. Here is an entire episode in which he is black 10,000 years ago. And people who look at the endless see the endless that they see. There is no true form for these characters. That kind of stuff, which just seemed sensible when I was writing it, now it's Flashpoint stuff. Now people are arguing about it. Now we get these trolls online screaming at us that we're woke and stuff. And I'm like, well, if we're woke, then we were woke in 1988 and it didn't hurt us then. And we've sold millions of copies, so we're doing all right.
Yeah, right side of history for sure. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Loved the series. Congratulations.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Okay, you take care. Bye-bye.